Hey guys, and welcome to today's video, the first official video of A Sprinkle of Courage since it's turned 2. Now today's video topic isn't a happy one, unfortunately. Today I'm talking about disappointment. Everyone feels disappointed at times in their life. Whether you have a mental illness or not, disappointment is a very horrible feeling to feel, and it's a very horrible thing to go through, but it happens to everybody. But what I have noticed, specifically since having a mental illness, is you get disappointed a lot. You have to have hope in order to make it through your mental illness. There's no question about it. Your hope dwindles a bit every time you get disappointed and every time you fail, but you always have to have at least a little bit of hope to keep you going to the next milestone. And I have noticed that when it comes to having a mental illness, you are constantly being disappointed. And it's really, really hard to keep that hope alive when you know that you're going to eventually end up disappointed. You can get disappointed in so many different ways with a mental illness. When you're going well in therapy and you feel like you're making a breakthrough, and then bam, comes a string of horrible, bad days that make everything seem like you're back at square one and you feel lost and alone and scared. In the self-harm sense, you can be free from self-harm for months, for years, and then bam, out of nowhere that feeling can come back, and the techniques that you use to once keep that feeling away don't work anymore, and you end up self-harming. You are then being disappointed. You're being let down by the things you have learnt. You have let down yourself, and it's hard to keep going. It's hard when you face mental illness and you look at yourself in the mirror and you realise that the troubles that you're going through today and the fight that you have to fight every morning to get up and get out of bed, to get up and to carry on throughout the day, is the fight that you're going to have to do every single day for the rest of your life. That's a hard thing to deal with, to know that today I have to fight, and then tomorrow is another fight, and the day after that is another fight, and that fight never ends. And sometimes that is really disheartening to know that even when you feel like you've accomplished something, the fight is still never over. So being constantly disappointed is a thing that I've learned that I have to deal with a mental illness, because for a while being constantly disappointed by myself, by the treatments, by just my mental illness, and just feeling so let down by it all, it ruins so much progress you make, and if you let it take hold of you, it just ruins everything. You have to find a way to cope with the disappointment. Everybody knows that when you have good days, there's going to be a bad day. There's going to be a period of bad days that are going to make you want to hide away from the world. It's going to make you consider self-harm again. It's going to make you consider every choice that you've made and wonder, why are you still fighting? It's going to test that. And that is where hope versus disappointment comes in. And you have to have the hope to fight your way through those bad days, but you also have to have hope to know that if you fail and you give in to an urge of self-harm, or if that disappointment wins and those bad days take over and you are left where all you can do for those days is lie in bed, cry, or just give up for a few days, you have to have enough courage, and you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and not see disappointment. And it's hard to do, because I know I feel that constantly when I've had a string of bad days and you get up and you're like, I'm just so disappointed in myself. I can't believe I let the darkness win. I can't believe that it took over. I can't believe I gave in yet again. And it ruins it, and it makes the pain 10 times worse, because it's hard. Things are going to fail, and that is something that I have had to accept, and I still have trouble accepting now within the mental health world, is that things fail. Treatments don't always work. Tips and tricks to deal with self-harm and suicidal thoughts don't always work. Things to distract you and mood boosters don't always work. Therapy is not a magic fix. It doesn't always work. And you have to accept that along with the good days come a string of bad days. And you have to find a way to cope with the disappointment you feel when those things happen, when a trick to help your self-harm fails, when you have a bad day and you feel like you're back at square one, you have to find a way through the disappointment to see that it's okay, that it happens, and that you still need to keep fighting this. I don't have a foolproof way of not letting the disappointment win, because I haven't found it yet, but I try to do everything I can when I feel like the world is crushing me and the disappointment and I just feel so worthless. Then I know I need to step in and do something. I try to lose myself in the world of some TV shows that I love. I have a great support system. My mum is so amazing with that. We have amazing neighbours, and I have an amazing best friend, and I have an amazing therapist that I see that really, really does help to just go see and blurt it all out what I'm feeling. Stuff that I don't even dare to say out loud to myself, that I keep hidden away. I will go speak to her and let it all out. And it's just nice to see somebody familiar and also just let out all the feelings that I'm hiding away from myself, from everybody else. Let them have air and just let them be said out loud and have no judgment. It's really helpful that way. I listen to music. I have a little ways that I can sort of try and bring myself back. But what I find helps me most is, you've seen my room, I've done a room tour before, and I always will. I have so many inspirational quotes on my phone. I post them on the group page, and my room is full of inspirational quotes. Because for me, it always helps to have visual reminders about not giving up and keep going, and motivational sayings and inspirational quotes, and it's always helped me. I love it, and my room is just full to the brim of inspirational quotes, and it really helps me. And that's one thing that I deal with. I look around my room and I see them and I let them sink into my mind. I go find some more on Google. I really search for quotes I've never heard and that speak to me, that understand what I'm feeling, and that helps me. I got some new quotes this past week to put in my bedroom, and they're really cute. It says, "When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. And then dream until your dreams come true." So that's why I really have inspirational quotes around me in my phone and on my room. It's just so it reminds me that I can do this, that for years I have fought this illness and I can fight it for many more years. I have come so far from where I started. And yes, I've still got a long way to go and the fight will never end. But that doesn't mean I can't conquer small battles in the big war that I have ahead of myself. And that's what keeps me going. And when the disappointment is overwhelming and I feel like, why am I doing this? What is the point? Another disappointment, another thing that didn't work. I look around my room, I listen to music, I get lost in some TV, and I just remind myself that I can do this, and that everybody feels disappointment. With or without a mental illness, everybody feels a disappointment. Disappointment is a natural feeling. And yes, it might happen more frequently to us with a mental health because we have lots of things to be disappointed by. But that doesn't mean we have to lie down and take the disappointment feeling. It just sort of makes me want to fight back even more. And this week I have been dealing with disappointment, so I thought I'd do a video on it and sort of share how I have slowly coming to accept that disappointment is going to be a major part of my mental health, and that I have to accept it if I want to continue on this journey. So thank you guys very much for watching. It really does mean a lot. And thank you all for the love and the birthday wishes for the group last week. It was amazing to hear from you and to just speak to you about Sprinkle of Courage. So I will see you next week. Bye guys.